Hey, this is Bill Sandell. You're listening to Brigade-Radio-One.
You're listening to Brigade-Radio-One. Hey everyone, it's Ethan, the Executive Director here at Brigade-Radio-One. As many of you know, we produce a lot of radio content with people like director Michael Lang of Bones and X-Files, director Steve Surgic of Lost in Space, Daredevil, Luke Cage. We work with a lot of producers as well, from Cindy Caponera of Shameless to Jason Schumann of Role Models to Eric Linus Kaplan of Futurama and Big Bang Theory. What we need is partnership. Go to patreon.com/Brigade-Radio-One. Become a partner today. Score yourself some concert tickets, VIP access, behind-the-scenes footage, and all kinds of other craziness. Get involved, become a partner. Help us not only deliver great radio content, but also help make the world a better place. Go to patreon.com/Brigade-Radio-One. We've got this epic piece of work in studio. You know him as the writer-producer on everything from The Blacklist to Dracula, which I really liked, to Spartacus, War of the Damned.
Well, you should have told somebody, because then maybe I'd have more than one person watching the show.
I should have. If Daniel Knauf is in studio. Welcome to the program. How are you, Daniel?
I'm good.
Now, I was going to ask, that was my first question. Is Dracula not coming back, I guess? Is that done?
Well, Dracula always comes back. Really, you know. No, Dracula's not coming back.
Well, how was the experience on that? Was it?
It was really good. We had a great cast, but it was very strange because we shot it in Budapest, and I kind of like to be able to, open my door, walk down the set, and deal with things, but I couldn't do that. And I haven't been able to do that lately.
Is that because you were here?
Shows now. What?
Is that because you were here?
Yeah,
the writers' room's in L.A.
We were writing in L.A. Mm-hmm. and so they're shooting in Budapest, and so it'd be the former communist bloc country. The work ethic is not like I'd get back my dailies, and it'd be like that's it, What they did 4 setups today?
4 setups and a coffee break, basically.
Yeah. It was like I think there were like 900 guys sitting around.
Now, why was Budapest? Was Budapest picked for the visuals?
It was. It was picked because they find these pockets of places to make shows.
Yeah,
and they'll say, you'll hear from the studio and they go, "Oh, this is great. We get 10 days. We could do a 10-day schedule on our budget, and instead of 5 days if we do it in L.A. And then you end up getting like 3 days worth of coverage for the 10 days. So I just feel like, why don't we just shoot it here in Los Angeles where we can,
Well, as a native, I'm for that, of course. But I did like the show. I thought it was an interesting take on it. And
it was beautifully produced.
Really well.
The Downton Abbey people were on top of that. And they were in London, so they were a little closer. So they were able to control it. And it was gorgeously designed. It's very lush.
Yeah.
And I think it was kind of like an experiment on NBC's part to see, can we do, cable style, like premium cable style programming? And what they found out is they can, but nobody watches it.
I was trying to give Beckerman some signals to get back on the mic. I don't want anyone to miss your epicness that you bring to the show today.
I'm a dumb shit. I wasn't understanding any of this.
That's okay. We've got it worked out.
I moved toward the window.
I thought we were going to witness a suicide. Beckerman is at the end of his rope saying, "Where's Jackie Thomas? The return? When are they going to reboot the Jackie Thomas show?"
We're only 4 floors up, man. I'm stuck with this Jackie Thomas thing. I worked on other shows too.
Well, Jackie Thomas has a certain stigma around here.
It was fun. It was fun.
I know you worked on a lot of other shows, but I did not watch Jackie Thomas when it was on in the early 90s. I know Jackie Thomas through you and Joel Madison and your visits here. And the stories you told made it sound like a work of art, particularly the one where Jackie Thomas decides to hire a bunch of little people to wear sombreros for his Mexican party so they can wear chips and salsa in their sombreros.
Fill the sombreros with guacamole so when people walk by they could...
Now, when you hear something so epically offensive yet comedic as that, you have to check the show. But was it you that says it doesn't hold up? Somebody says it doesn't hold up.
I think Joel said that.
Yeah. Well,
but, Joel, I think the funniest week I spent in showbiz was an episode that Joel wrote. Chris Farley played Tom's brother, Jackie Thomas's brother, who was coming in from out of town, who's been bullied all his life. This guy was so funny in rehearsals, run-throughs. We were just laughing. We could not stop laughing. And the athleticism that this guy had. He was amazing. There was like a basketball hoop in the office. The show was kind of like a Dick Van Dyke on drugs or something like that.
Wait a minute, what? The show was like Dick Van Dyke
Dick
on
Van
drugs?
Dyke show. It had a writer's room. It had a crazy
It was a
star.
show about a show.
Show within a
Show
show.
about a show. And it had, Tom was Alan Brady, was Carl Reiner, and it had a writer's room. So there was like a mini basketball net there. And Chris Farley just was improvising behind the back, dribbling through his leg. The guy was amazing. And he really kept us like laughing. And then after every take, he would go, "Was that okay, guys? Is that okay?" We're laughing. And I think what happened there was, maybe Joel told you, they had Tom and Roseanne convinced Lorne Michaels to let him out of his sight for a week. So he was living at Tom and Roseanne's house just to keep him straight.
Farley was.
Farley, yeah. And
he was on some kind of watch, like a Lauren Michaels watch, because of his social habits? All right.
Yeah. And, he was on Saturday Night Live, so didn't want to ruin that. So everything went really well. And then at the end of Friday night when we shot, we heard a couple hours later that he was taken directly to rehab because he fell off the wagon at some point earlier in the week. Tom and Roseanne didn't know this.
Really?
And somehow it came out.
So Tom and Roseanne were his minders.
They were his minders.
Now,
That's a desperate situation.
But Tom
Are those the best
No,
minders?
Tom was long time sober.
Yeah.
And Roseanne wasn't a drinker.
That's like saying,
She
"Hey,
had
look,
other
Aerosmith,
faults."
keep an eye on my kid."
Better subscribe to this channel before you look uncool.